trash.
What's amazing is I remember that thinking like, God, Deidre Hall's a great actress because she's having to act possessed right now. That just seems like a lot to ask of her.
We think it would be nice if you wanted to come over and see what we do in our neck of the woods.
So Ryan will allegedly be accepting the offer to go visit Deidre. And of course, everyone wants him to make an appearance, maybe a cameo. One thing in the soap opera world over the past week that I've loved to see play out and that I wanted to talk about was Ryan Gosling's praise for Days of Our Lives star Deidre Hall, who is going 50 years strong in the business. And I've said this many times, but Days of Our Lives is the soap opera that got me into soap operas, got me into the soap world. So it has been good to see her get the appreciation, and more people have been giving soap opera actors more appreciation in general. This year, I feel like there's a little bit of a soap opera resurgence going on, and that's the way I feel right now. I think Beyond the Gates does have a lot to do with that, being the first soap opera, the first new soap opera in over 2 decades, 2.5 decades. I do think that had a lot to do with it. But Ryan was on a podcast, and even though the host was a little dismissive, he had a lot of good things to say about Days and soap opera actors.
I used to stay home. I used to pretend to be sick so I could stay home and watch Regis and Kelly.
Oh my God.
I loved Regis and Kelly.
Of course.
And I loved Days of Our Lives.
I can't support you there, but okay.
Really?
I just never got into it. Maybe it was great. I just didn't.
Enough people online already tore the host of this podcast up for being kind of condescending, so I'm going to just leave that out.
Days of Our Lives.
That was the one?
Well, just soap opera actors in general.
Yeah.
They do not get the love they deserve.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. The amount they have to
memorize the night before.
I know.
Like 10 pages of dialogue. They get one take.
Yeah.
I think it's been great to see Ryan, who currently has the top box office movie this month, I believe in March, coming out here and really giving soap opera actors their dues for how hard their job actually is when it comes to acting, because of the amount that they have to do a day, because at least one episode is shot a day. These days, for some soap operas, way more than one episode a day.
And it's impossible scenarios. Like when Marlena, Deidre Hall, right?
We know.
Deidre Hall gets possessed. This is right around when X-Files was a big deal. Right, suddenly everything got supernatural.
Sure.
She was possessed by the devil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Deidre Hall has to suddenly, after playing,
just a normal
person, then she's got to have and then it's like somebody's dead and now they're back, or and then they're a different actor and they come out of the shop. It's like, that was Bo, by the way. When Bo and Hope, he came out as a new Bo.
Of course, yeah, I know.
Of course, Ryan bringing up the infamous Marlena possession storyline, but clearly he was a big fan, even knowing when Peter Reckell returned as Bo in the 90s after he'd been recast before that.
It was an incredible acting class.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I
Play
loved
possessed.
it. What's
you ready?
that?
I'm saying, I'm giving you a direction.
What's amazing is I remember that thinking like, God, Deidre Hall's a great actress because she's having to act possessed right now. That just seems like a lot to ask of her. And then, it's kind of also when I stopped watching the show, not because of that, but I think I just had to live my life.
Yeah.
And just recently, it was on TV, and she's possessed again.
Oh, no. Has she been possessed for 30 years?
No, I think it's just like somehow my life keeps passing, keeps
Deidre
crossing
Hall,
the path with when Deidre Hall is possessed.
So I loved that story he was telling, all the praise he was giving, and it made its way to Deidre Hall, and I think other soap opera actors were definitely loving the respect that they are finally getting from bigger stars in the industry. I saw Laura Wright from General Hospital at one point retweeting some of this stuff. Well, Deidre had a response inviting Ryan to the set of Days of Our Lives, seeing as he's such a big fan. Or at least was once upon a time.
I caught the podcast. Oh my gosh, what fun. And we played it in the dressing room, and we played it in the makeup room, and we're just thrilled to be acknowledged and to be so well spoken of, because We work really hard, as you acknowledge. So we think it would be nice if you wanted to come over and see what we do in our neck of the woods. So this is an open invitation to visit the Days of Our Lives set. Nobody will be possessed. And if they are, I'll keep an eye on you.
Well, Ryan heard that from Deidre and had a response of his own and really told, I think, the truth and why he told that story in the first place. I think Deidre was one of the OG actors that actually got him interested in acting.
Deidre Hall, are you kidding me? Yes. This is a very enthusiastic yes to a very cordial invitation to visit you on set. I will be there to thank you in person for being my OG acting inspiration. It wasn't Marlon Brando in On the Waterfront. It wasn't De Niro in Taxi Driver. It was you.
So Ryan will allegedly be accepting the offer to go visit Deidre. And of course, everyone wants him to make an appearance, maybe a cameo. And I think the show should try to make that happen. I mean, other soaps have had big stars appear over the years. And why not do that with Ryan? It could be a big thing for Days that I think currently needs a boost, even though they do shoot so far in advance to save money these days. They're like 10 months in advance now, so it makes it hard for them to be able to see what's really working with the fans, see what's not working with the fans. I think that is a big problem with Days these days. I wish this show was in better shape because I personally don't think there's one single good story on the show right now, but I am glad to see Ryan giving Deidre praise, hyping Deidre after 50 years in soaps. I do love to see that, and I do hope Days and Peacock could take advantage of this. This is not the first time this year that soaps have been kind of getting praise, because obviously Michael B. Jordan won an Oscar this year, and while he didn't quite get his start on All My Children, he actually got his start on one of the best TV shows ever, The Wire. He was on All My Children for a few years, and he's always been someone that has had positive feelings about that. A lot of actors that start on soaps talk about how it really is a great foundation to the rest of their careers, and especially for people that didn't take acting classes or go to acting school, soaps are a way to really learn. And I love that Michael has always had positive things to say about that experience.
Then, then The Wire kicked in, and All My Children.
Yeah.
And then it was,
Nick, you was on the story?
It was,
He was on the story,
some
brother.
stories, man.
Yeah.
You didn't know that.
I did some know that.
Yeah.
I know
You
something
was
you don't know.
So like All My Children was definitely where I kind of like learned like the work ethic of acting, like the actual.
Yeah, because they locked in.
Yeah, I mean, you do like 100, episode and a half a day, 100 plus pages a day. You know what I'm saying? They crank
100 plus?
Yeah, they're cranking them things
yeah.
out
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah. Tyler Perry before Tyler Perry.
What?
I mean, soaps is a machine.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no you rarely get multiple takes. So it's like if you ain't study, if you ain't know your shit, the next day it will be on air and people will be watching you fuck up. So like you only need one or two of those. So you like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm knowing our shit.
Yeah,
No,
study.
I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna know my shit better than anybody. So like that was kind of like.
I think people that have gone on to bigger things than soaps that have continued to be positive about that experience have had some really great careers. And Michael's always gone on podcasts talking positively and giving props to the other actors behind the scenes or that he worked with that helped him in his younger years.
Recently, Susan Lucci was asked about you, Michael B. Jordan,
Wow.
because
Susan?
of doing
Miss Lucci.
All My Children
Yeah.
when Michael was 16.
Yeah.
And I had to write this up because I just thought this was incredibly moving. She said he was prepared. He was on time. He was committed. He was incredibly sweet. He was respectful to everyone around him. It didn't matter who it was. And I
That's
thought that
sweet.
was really thoughtful.
He hasn't changed.
Do you?
I really do. I got to get in touch with her. She's that time I spent on that show did so much for me. education-wise, just like
Yeah.
literally just learning about the craft. And this actor Darnell Williams and Walt Wiley that was there, and Susan was so helpful in kind of honing that part of it in. Like we did, 100+ pages a day, an episode.
Oh
and a
my
half.
gosh, yeah,
We
you
would
learn on a soap.
like 100+ pages. We did an episode and a half a day. You know what I'm saying? It was a machine, and a kid that never really went to acting classes or never went to acting school or anything
That
like that.
was your program.
That was my education.
Fellow Oscar winner Julianne Moore, who long ago started on As the World Turns, is another person that has always spoke positively about her experience starting in soap operas. Unlike fellow As the World Turns alum Meg Ryan, who's always been so negative about it, and that's why she hasn't been relevant in over 2 decades now. She went on to success in the 90s for rom-coms, but literally fell off long time ago. Julianne Moore, not so much.
It was this opportunity to go to work every single day, and you only, that's how we all learn best, by actually, we all know that no matter what we do, by actually doing something, by physically doing it, through repetition, that's how we acquire skills. So for me to have that opportunity at 23 to go to work every single day.
And I always loved how Julianne actually went back to As the World Turns when that show sadly did go off the air, as another sign of respect about how near and dear to her heart that show actually was. One more person I do want to point out is Jensen Ackles, who started on Days of Our Lives, and he went on to be probably most famous for Supernatural, I assume. He's also on The Boys these days. He's always had some good things to say about his experiences too.
I mean, I've told the story before. Like when I showed up on set, I was like, "Hey, I'm the new guy. What's up?" And Deidre Hall was like, "Hit your mark, know your lines, stay out of my light." And I go, "Yes, ma'am." And I did that, and earned her respect, and it was one of the best things I could have done because she took care of me. Big time.
Giving some credit to earning Deidre Hall's respect, who then took him under his wing, and then also going on to praise the work ethic and just how hard it actually can be to act on soaps.
This is why I think daytime actors and daytime programming in general don't get enough credit, is because they're jamming in all of those, they're jamming in an entire hour-long script in a day, what most people take 8 to 10. So these guys are shooting all of that in one day. So the fact that they're like, "Oh, it's not great," they mess up the lines or whatever. You know how hard it was to memorize like 20. I did one day. I did 24 pages of dialogue in one day, and I did that in 5 hours.
So all that being said, does this make me want to stop talking shit about actors like Tomas on Beyond the Gates? No, because there are still some actors on soap operas that shouldn't have the job for so long. If after a year you still can't emote, I think you're not good for the job. That's why recasts are so synonymous with soap operas as well. But I have enjoyed this respect that Ryan has brought on social media to soaps again, specifically to Deidre and Days of Our Lives. It has been fun to see, a little heartwarming too, I must say.